Hello, everyone. Um, I am Priyanka Sagu. I'll be the host for today's call. And today is October 2nd, 2024. This is the APAC SIG ContribEx meeting. This meeting abides by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which comes down to please be nice and excellent to each other and do that even outside this call. I have pasted a document to the a link to the document to our meeting agenda document in the chat. Please add yourself as attendees there. And I will just call out for any new contributors to the call if anyone wants to introduce themselves. I will just start with a line about myself. I am one of the technical leads for SIG ContribEx. Uh, Mario is also there, who is very active in various parts of ContribEx right now. Contributor, comms being the major one, socials, events, I believe. Um, yeah, Sandeep, go ahead.
Priyanka, sorry to interrupt. Just a small note. I think we are editing the meeting template itself instead of.
Oh, yeah, my
Yeah,
mistake.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
correct.
for calling that out. I I will move the attendees and host details from the template to, let me just do that right away. Okay. Mario, thank you. Okay. Uh, Sayak, I know you are new to this call. If you want to come on the mic and introduce yourself to everyone here, or feel free to put
Yeah,
it in chat also. Yeah. Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sayak. I've been working on Kubernetes related things for over 3 years now. I have made some small contributions here and there, one-off contributions, like whenever I found something that I needed to be fixed or something, I've made changes. But like I have decided that I want to make more concerted effort into contributing to Kubernetes from now on. As such, I joined the first new contributor meeting that happened last month. So I joined that meeting, only the APAC one. And yeah, so after joining that meeting, I got to know about the things that at least the contributor site, the Kates.dev needs some improvement. So thought that I would take that up, upgrade Doxy and stuff. I have a pending PR for that, which is getting reviewed. So yeah, so I'm quite happy to be part of this now.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for the introduction, first of all, and thank you for already. You have already started contributing. I think you mentioned you joined the new contributor orientation meeting. Mario, I think you hosted that one, right?
Yes,
So
yes, I did it.
thank you for that one. I now realized what happened with that meeting. A little blunder. I had a chat with Kathleen yesterday, and she mentioned, so I got the context now. But thank you for handling that, and thank you for hosting both the new contributor orientation meetings. If you need help with the reviews on PR, you said you already mentioned it's ongoing, so that's great. But if you want to put a link here and anyone need feedback from anyone here, feel free to drop a link here in the chat or maybe in the agenda itself. You can do that under open mic discussion, or if it falls under any of the categories, you feel free to add it there. Yeah. Maybe just as an update, FYI to everyone here. Thank you again. Anyone else wants to come on mic?
I can go ahead.
Yes, Ryan.
Hey everyone, Ryan this side. So I'm from India. I work as a senior platform engineer at OneTrust, and I have been contributing to Kubernetes since 2019, but started contributing here and there. I mean, started with I mean, SIG testing, and then moved to SIG Node and SIG CLI, and then finally focusing on SIG release. I am shadowing since 1.29, and this release I'm also in release notes or release notes shadow, and I want to start with ContribEx. And I mean, I talked to Priyanka in Cube Day India regarding this. So my plan is to start with non-code or non-technical contributions and slowly move to technical contributions. So yeah, apart from that, I also used to contribute to the Kubernetes Contributor Summit, but after I mean, I have been traveling since last 40 to 45 days. So during this time, I'm really I mean, I couldn't contribute there much, but I'll start again from this week. So yeah, that's all from me.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan, for the introduction and for also sharing all the things you have been doing in the project. I believe most of everyone's journey, at least on this call, would resemble yours. That is doing bits and pieces here and there all around the project. Mario is one great example who does this across SIGs and a lot of work across SIGs. Sandeep have been helping so many projects across SIG ContribEx. Uh, yeah, so that's the journey of I think most uh, Kubernetes contributors here.
Yeah.
You mentioned you want to get involved in known technical part of SIG ContribEx, as in opportunities in SIG
Yeah.
ContribEx. There are a few upcoming opportunities. We'll get to them, I think, when we start going through the sub project updates.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
thank you. And Wendy, do you want to come on mic?
Yes.
I'd love to you to share with everyone what you have been doing in last 1 year, which is amazing stuff.
Yeah. All right. Hi everyone. I'm Wendy. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. I just graduated from the university and just start my first job as a graduate technology at the moment. I used to work in the SIG release team as in Kubernetes version 1.31 as a release signal shadow. And in this circle, in the version 1.32, I come back as another release signal circle in this time. The reason I joined this meeting because I saw a post on Slack of the SIG ContribEx that you guys need a volunteer to have to organize the meeting for the mentoring session. I just heard I really want to help on that, especially have to organize meeting for the contributor come from the Oceania region, like in Australia and New Zealand. So that's the reason I come to this meeting today to figure out how I can help. So yeah, that's everything about me.
Thank you, Wendy. And I'll plug in shamelessly. She had done a great job in SIG ContribEx last release cycle, like a really needed work. Thank you for doing that. Uh, I am aware Sylvester pinged us, mentioning that there are few people who are very interested in the helping with the mentoring sub project. I might not have proper updates today, but I will take that as an action item, and I'll let you and Ryan both know what are the steps to get involved, or what exactly is the work that's needed. Uh,
Yeah.
what for today's call, I'll just mark, like I'll document your and Ryan's
Mm,
both's name as people who are interested. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for
okay. Yep.
willing to help us there. Um, anyone else want to come on the call and maybe talk about themselves? Mario, do you want to do a quick round of introduction?
I can. Hi, I'm Mario. I am part of SIG ContribEx and part of SIG Kids Infra. Um, I'm also working in other parts of the open source world for some of the CNCF things that need to be done. I'm also in comms, and pronouns are he, him. And I'm really glad that we have so many new people that came out of the new contributor orientation meeting.
Thank you, Mario. Oh, successful start, very successful start. I love it. And Sandeep, you are the last one to wrap us up with the introductions round. Do you want to come on mic, Sandeep?
Yeah, I'm a member of SIG ContribEx Comms, and I'm also a KCS Comms Shadow. And in addition, I'm a member of the CNCF Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group, where we are working on curating a set of best practices to make conference and meetings and everything else inclusive and accessible. So I am a person with hearing impairment, and I rely entirely on captions to follow what you all are speaking. And welcome to the newcomers. Excited to have you here.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you. Uh, that's great. I know we took about 20 minutes or so with the introductions, but I believe that's really good. That's important part of every ContribEx meeting, especially. Um let's move to the sub project updates because that will give everyone here some context about what stuff we do. So the very first one is contributor summit. Before I do that, I just want to confirm if my screen is shared and the correct document is
Yes.
shared.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
thank you. So the very first one is contributor summit, and there are two notes. That Mario,
Yeah.
did you put them there?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
put
I
them
can
there.
talk about the second one after you.
Yeah, so basically, the NA summit planning is ongoing for this. The schedule is hopefully being published this week. The call for volunteers will go out, I think, as soon as we have published um, the schedule, so people can actively join there. Everything is currently going to plan, and this will be the last contributor summit for Kubernetes, because after this there will be a maintainer summit, and Bob shortly talked about the concept in the contributor summit meeting 2 weeks ago. So essentially, we will basically have maintainer summits from there on, and the benefit there is that nothing will really change for the Kubernetes community. There will be a dedicated track for Kubernetes. There will be group photos and stuff like this still for it. However, um, it will be under the shepherdship with all of the other projects. So there will be maintainers from other projects, and as we all know, a lot of folks that are contributing to Kubernetes are also contributing to other CNCF open source projects. And Priyanka basically can talk about the first one that is going to be happening at this KubeCon in India.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well, the first one is happening on day zero of KubeCon India. KubeCon India this year is happening in Delhi on December 11 and 12. That's where that's about maintainer summit, the very first one. But updates about what's really happening behind the scene right now. uh, since this is the very first one and we started talking about it or evangelizing the event very close to the actual deadline date of CFPs for maintainer summit, we did not get a very good response from the CFP. There are many reasons we are already aware of and we have taken notes will be learning for us for the upcoming maintenance summit. But few of them is the eligibility criteria is different from KCS. It looked like for Kubernetes it would be similar to what KCS eligibility criteria was. That is, anybody who is a org member can attend. Anybody who have a topic that's relevant to Kubernetes community can apply for CFP. But that's not true for Maintainers Summit. Yes, anybody who is a org member of Kubernetes, any GitHub organization can attend, but not everybody can apply for, like, not the people who are not org members can apply to Maintainer Summit anymore now. Uh, we do not also receive good submissions or much submission. I meant much, not good. Uh, Many submissions from across the CNCF project board. So we are considering other ways to create a lineup of content for Maintainer Summit, the very first one for India. But there is a lot of learning this time for us in terms of what could have been, what we could do better in the next iterations. CFP deadline for Maintainer Summit is already uh, closed. It was September 29, but the registration is still open. So anybody in the call who is a Kubernetes org member, or the if you are involved in any of these areas, which is, if either you are a sandbox maintainer, the CNCF project sandbox maintainer, or any incubating project org member, as well as any maintainers in those projects, plus Kubernetes or other graduated project maintainer or org member, as well as TSC. So if you fall in any of the categories, you can attend, and please go ahead and register. Our registration link is here. I've put a link to the Maintainer Summit India landing page in the agenda. So that's what's currently happening with Maintenance Summit. We have just gone past the CFP deadline, and the response was not as expected.
I think
Registrations is, yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
Uh,
Mario.
I think one of the problems is also that, especially when you incubating maintainers, there are not so many maintainers, right? Because a lot of those projects don't have listed so many maintainers. So, for example, for I know for KDS GPT there are like 2 maintainers, and if they are only eligible for the only ones that are eligible to submit a CFP, and both of them are based in Europe, so they will never show up at KubeCon for a maintainer summit in India, for example.
I mean, that's correct. So that is one of the challenges. I was having a discussion with one another SIG lead in our project, and we were discussing exactly this. We should have started or introduced a maintainer summit from a popular KubeCon, so that people are aware of it. Like, this is an event, and they are excited about it. Since we started it with the very first KubeCon India itself, people are more excited about submitting anything to KubeCon India, and not an event that is happening for the very first time. I mean, it's sad to say, but that's the reality. People are not much aware about what is Maintainer Summit, and especially nobody is aware that this is KCS equivalent event. That conversation, I think, has happened between the people who are organizing KCS, or the summit staff of KCS. They are aware that this is happening. The people who join KCS, like the attendees, they are not aware, oh, KCS is getting folded into a new event called Maintainer Summit. That was one of the challenges. Yes, another one is it's happening in December, which is mostly approaching a holiday time for everyone else outside India and India as well, especially in this IT space, because everyone works with the year end holidays. So well, that is one of the reasons. And final reason, which is a very uh, good learning I don't know why it happened, but the CFP page for Maintainer Summit was the same for Maintainers Track and Project Lightning Stock for KubeCon India, and it created a hell lot of uh, confusion for everyone who just opened that page, let's say to apply for a CFP for Maintainer Summit, and realize, oh, it also says Maintainers Track. Are we eligible? No, let's close this. Or are we eligible for Project Lightning Talks? Let's close this. So during that 2 weeks time, when from the beginning, like when we were asked to now go and outreach about it, till the time we um, eventually, after extending the deadline, that 2 weeks time frame, we made so many changes to that sessionized page, and even after that it is still the most confusing CFP sessionized page we have ever seen. So I mean, that was a big contribution to why we did not did not get many CFP submissions at all, because I think I was on a call with somebody helping someone to go through the uh, drop downs, and I myself was not sure which for every drop down, because it's so tricky. You are picking up Kubernetes and then some SIG, and suddenly it asks you to uh, add a tag which is nowhere relevant to Kubernetes. So it was uh, it was really confusing, and I think that was also one of the major reasons why we did not receive anything, because people, if they ended up wanting to submit something, they might have been overwhelmed by the CFP submission page itself and have dropped it entirely. So yeah, CFPs did not go out well. We are also now exploring other ways to create some content lineup. uh, there is not much information. I also saw a question from you, Sandeep. How many CFPs? Myself and Navaron, both of us, we are yet to get those statistics from CNCF team. That will be coming, I think, later this week. But I might not be able to share the number as it is, but it's low. I would say it's pretty low. It's not enough for creating a days long um, lineup of talks. So that's what's happening with Maintainer Summit, but uh, good learning. I would say that's the only positive out of here so far with CFPs. Um, okay, yeah. Bye, Mario. Thank you for joining. Actually, before you drop, you already dropped. It's okay. um, so that's for events. I will just stop here. If anyone has any question, because we talked about something that might be totally new or alien to some people on the call, so feel free to just come on mic and ask anything. Yeah, if you have questions, or drop them in the chat. I'm also looking at chat now. Answering you, Sandeep, I think Mario meant contributor comms sub project updates only, if you have any. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
If there are,
okay,
yeah.
okay, sure. So Priyanka, I think one of the reasons for this maintenance summit confusion, uh, so the first thing is that I agree. Actually, when I tried to submit the CFP myself, it was super confusing with the drop downs. Yeah, I was quite lost and I tried 2 times and both times I basically gave up because I had to go back and again research. Okay. And the second thing is that there was no proper publicity that KCS is being now rebranded or reimagined as Maintenance Summit. There was no proper publicity or advertising regarding that, right?
I totally agree. Yeah, people who are not in the summit staff itself, not many of them are aware that it's KCS equivalent for Kubernetes project at least. And actually a bigger and better version in a way, at least that's the intention of CNCF, to make it a more bigger than KCS event and include more projects, more maintainers from across the CNCF board. How much of that is out there, and available for people. I also don't know the statistics, but from the looks of it, not many people are aware that this is happening. And this happened, this change, I mean, is so early right now. We finalize something, like by the time we understood this is going to be the format of Maintainer Summit, we were already close to the CFP uh, deadline, like within 2 weeks of the deadline itself for Maintainer Summit CFP. Anyway, I forgot to mention it. One of the other reasons for us not getting CFP submissions for Maintainer Summit this time is uh, something that's different from KCS. KCS CFPs start or at least stay open much longer after the KubeCon event CFPs. So people who have applied something for KubeCon and it did not get in and they want to still share their information with other people in the space and are eligible to do so, they use KCS platform. So we do get a lot of submissions after or closer to when KubeCon results are out and KubeCon schedule is out. That was not the case for Maintainer Summit. Maintainer Summit Maintainer Summit deadline was exactly closer to, I think, mm, or I'm not sure. Well, Maintainer Summit CFP deadline was equal to the deadline for maintenance track, so not for the general track. Okay, my mistake. The Maintainer Summit CFP deadline is after um, after KubeCon
Yeah,
general CFP, but still, I think the point holds. The result comes out on the same day, so people are not aware if their KubeCon talks went in or not, and if they want to utilize Maintainer Summit as another platform to share their information or knowledge. Um, that was not the case. I know that happens a lot in Indian contributor space where people are willing to speak and they definitely utilize a lot of the KCS opportunity to submit CFPs. So that was not the case this time. Yeah. And I've passed that feedback to Bob and Jiffy from CNCF, and uh, all the feedback is well received, very positively received. They have tried very hard to make changes as much as possible during that uh, time period, but we were in time crunch. Go ahead, Sandeep.
no, Priyanka, you continue finishing. Please continue, then I'll tell my points.
I think that was what I have. So I'm good here.
Okay, I think one of the things that we can do is we have this new contributor orientation program. Maybe we could have a slide in it that we are transitioning KCS to MS.
Yeah. I think we can do that if it was not done. I'll write down a point. This is a great suggestion. Thank you, Sandeep. Yeah.
And I think the Kubernetes IO the Twitter account should also say that the KCS N will be the last KCS submit, and then henceforth it will be MS submit.
Um, just a second. I'm just trying to take notes so I don't miss your suggestion. Regarding the Twitter announcement, I will leave that to Summit staff, or actually, I'll check with. I'll write it as a question from you. Can we do that?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll check with CNCF, I'll check with Caslin and Mario offline, and see if that is something uh, we can do, not right away, maybe after KCSNA is concluded, because it might create some confusion, or people might I, I don't know what's going to be the response on the receiving side. So
correct, correct.
let's use the platform right now uh, for endorsing KubeCon NA, sorry, KCS NA as much as possible. And once we're close to the event, and maybe right after the event, we can call it out. Like this was the
Yeah,
one, and the next one, next format, new format will be Maintainer Summit. Yeah.
yeah. Which is why I said that there can be a tweet like KCS, and it's going to be the last KCS. So that we will even advertise the KCS and also advertise about the future MS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Priyanka, what are we then going to do about maintenance summit? We are going to brainstorm internally and get some sessions.
Um, just a second. Honor and honor and So right now there is nothing finalized on that, Sandeep. We again, me and Nabarun, we both are waiting from CNCF staff team to give us like what's the final number, what is the final number of submissions we received, and if that is something we can use uh, along with other unconference sessions, and to curate like a day long schedule. Once we have that number, we do have some suggestions from other people in the community, and other like the KubeCon chairs themselves. So we'll think about, we'll work on all those options, provided we have the final number of submissions we received out of the CFPs. That is still pending. Yeah. But once, I believe, next call when we'll be like having this APAC occurrence, we'll definitely have more information on what we are doing. And if we, again, first of all, shout out to you, Sandeep, shout out to you, Arvind, for helping us in such a short time frame, for helping us with all the comms that went out for Maintenance Summit India. We might need more help. uh, if we are doing something different, for example, for KubeCon, sorry, Millionaire Summit India, and we might need more unconference sessions or something like that, I will keep you both posted, and everyone else as well on the call posted in this call, next one. And yeah, we can plan accordingly. So far we are waiting on the final number of submissions we received. Yeah. Okay. So that's about Maintainer Summit. Unless anyone has any other question, I'll just do a quick counter check. One, two, three. Okay. None. Thank you. So mentoring is the next sub project, and I know we are almost at the top of the hour. So this here, I will take an action item. Wendy, Ryan, join the call, seeking more information on areas or specific tasks that need uh, help under mentoring sub-project. And I will say uh, need information on from Sylvester on the to-do items here to follow up and share either on SIG ContribEx or next payback call. So I have just taken an action item on Mira and Wendy. I'll check with Sylvester if there are if we already have figured out what are the to-do items under mentoring sub-project. I might post them on SIG ContribEx tagging you both. Um, if not, if I don't receive that information, let's say by next week, then I'll definitely have something before the next APAC call. So yeah, an action item on me. Uh, Sylvester also mentioned that a few people reached out to him and they will be joining today's call. Wendy, Ryan, just checking. Did any of you already had a chat with Sylvester about it? And did he mention any work that needed help right away? And if you need resources on some to do items, if you already are aware of, just let us know and we can try to provide that help. Just checking if Sylvester, if you both had any chat with Sylvester offline already.
I did not.
Okay, okay, thank you for confirming.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, okay. So then it's an action item on me. I'll get back to you by maximum by next APAC call, or if I get it before that on SIG ContribEx Slack. Meanwhile, I can share some things if you want to read about what he is doing right now, or what are the efforts he is involved in right now, or kind of documentations he's creating. Uh, you can go through them. Let me just find out all the links.
So, Wendy and Ryan, Sylvester is wonderfully helpful. Okay, so feel free to reach out to him.
Sure, Sandeep.
Yep. I just remember like he has a post in SIG ContribEx Slack to call for volunteer to help to
Mhm.
organize the mentoring session. And then we just comment under the Slack and then he guides us to join the SIG ContribEx meeting to like to get more information. So that's what I know.
Okay. He mentioned that people will be joining, but I did not realize that I had to ask him for the action item. So let me come back to you. I'll ping you both on the SIG
Yeah,
Contribute Slack. He
that's
mentioned it,
awesome.
I think, early this week only. Okay. So I just pasted a few links. He has already started working on creating some documentation about what kind of work is needed under this particular mentoring task, and what are the roles that he will be creating for people who will be volunteering in different spaces of this mentoring cohorts that he will be coordinating with SIGs. So do check out these links. There are some guides and maybe overall explanation of what the task in as a broadly is. um, yeah, and I'll come back with action items, precise action items. Okay. uh, Also, Sylvester mentioned once he has it it was long time back, not early right now. He mentioned that once there is a list of people who are interested in helping, he might get on a call with those set of people and uh, actually help them understand what is needed, and when can we start and all that planning. Yeah, so maybe now we already have you, Wendy, Ryan, interested in this project. We can plan something. Okay, so I will also ask. Okay. Um, so that's about mentoring so far. I don't have any other updates. We don't have any active group mentoring cohort already running. I think once Sylvester is currently working on making it more formal and more organized. So once we have that, uh, I think we'll talk about that, but that is far away in the future. I believe it would be next year early, not nothing planned for this year. Okay, so that's all for mentoring. Anybody has any questions? I'm just checking the chat as well. Yeah, Arvind mentioned that if it is feasible to attend the Friday, there is a Friday meeting, SIG ContribEx Friday meeting. That is not definitely feasible for you, Wendy. It's very late for you. Uh, but Sylvester might be joining that call and might have some pointers. I will make sure I let Sylvester know if, since you both are from APAC and are interested, we get a call that is feasible with per time zone as well. But Ryan, if you feel you can join, feel free to join and share with us what are the action items needed.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, Thank you. So that's about mentoring, but I know Ryan, I already like started talking about mentoring as the potential task for you. There are a lot of other areas that you might be interested in. I do not want to force you into mentoring when we just started talking about mentoring. So uh, comms is another area where there is a lot of help always required with events going forward. I believe with Kubernetes track and maintainer summit, and in general blogs and social media and other stuff that is very important for Kubernetes community. Sandeep, Arvind, do you want to come on on mic, and if there are any active opportunities that need help or volunteers, do you want to talk about them? I know the new contributor orientation is one space where we definitely need volunteers to run those meetings over time zones. Wendy, so if that is also of interest to you, if you want to run a new contributor orientation meeting for uh, Oceania time zone, for example, Australia, New Zealand time zone, uh, if that is of interest to you, let us know. I can ask Kaslin, Mario, both of them, or to provide you with all the information. We have a slide deck. We also had a few orientation meetings that have already happened. It's really, you just have to make a copy of that slide deck and use it. I Kathleen has done an amazing job of even writing down notes, speaker notes. So anybody who want to host those orientation calls, everything is in the slide deck itself, and they can just get started. All they need is a calendar invite and some outreach, and actually host the call. Some context about what's in the slide. It's a lot of stuff that we have. Um, Talked about in various KubeCon, SIG ContribEx maintainers track, learned from those sessions, and we have tried to create a slide deck for new contributor orientation about from all the sessions that we, with all the information that we feel was well received by KubeCon audience and could be useful for anyone else joining the community as a new contributor. So if that is of interest, Wendy, just not right away, whenever you feel like you need, you want to do that, ping. If you want to ping directly, Kaslin, Mario would be the people, or let me know as well, and I can introduce you to them and we can take it from there. Okay. Same for you, Ryan. If you want to host those orientation calls specifically for India time zone or any other time zone that is comfortable for you, feel free to jump in there as well. So back to you, Arvind, Sandeep. Anyone wants to come on mic and talk about anything else?
Yeah, I can go. Firstly, hi everyone. Sorry for being late. I turned off my calendar notifications since I was out for 10 days, so I literally forgot about the meeting. But yeah, I would like to just point out one area, which is the spotlight blogs for SIG ContribEx comms. This is how I started. So spotlight blogs are basically you interview members of other SIGs and you write a blog on that and then put it out so that other contributors can uh, or potential contributors can see the blog and then get involved with the SIG. So that is always an area that needs help in ContribEx comms, and it is uh, like pretty straightforward. The process is pretty straightforward and is fairly documented. So that is one area that you can get started with like immediately if you want. Yeah, I think that one comes to my mind. And other is we do require some help with social media posts that go out. So you can help with drafting social media for like Kubernetes IO account as well. If you can talk to Keslin, I think she might be able to give you access, and then she can tell you which area she needs help with. So, yeah. Sandeep, if you have any.
Thank you so much, Arvind. Yeah, I have taken notes of everything you mentioned.
I think I think I have mentioned about the contributor comms in the document.
Yeah, yeah. I yeah,
Just
the
Arvind
updates.
mentioned,
Okay.
yeah, as Arvind mentioned, coming out with a spotlight article is sort of an evergreen help because there is always something to write about. So that is an evergreen field, and all of you are welcome to contribute in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind, Sandeep. I mentioned it that we always need help there. I can plug in something. I have to follow up with Josh on this, but there might be some help needed with the maintenance of election software itself. That is something we wrote down in our SIG ContribEx annual annual report. So plug in annual every SIG, every Kubernetes SIG working group publish an annual report at the end of an year. And in that report, other than the work they did during the entire year, the areas they focused, they also have a section where they mention where is help needed. So if any of you is interested in a specific SIG, the place to find out the annual report is the Kubernetes community repository, which is github.com/kubernetes community. Click on any of the folders with the SIG prefix or WG working group prefix, and you can find files, markdown files with name annual report hyphen the year is for the latest one. So if you look at this annual report for SIG architecture, for example, well, they not everyone would mention fill every section if that is not applicable for them. So I will open SIG contributor experience, for example, because we did call out some areas for help. Um, So here we have a question which says, are there any areas or sub-project that your group need help with? And mentoring sub-project was one of them, and Sylvester did help us there. This is still an active area, and thank you for showing your interest. Election sub-project was another one. So I will check with Josh what is the current status of that, but that would be another area under SIG ContribEx that can use some help. It would be a little bit technical as well. Again, I'm not sure if it's active, but if this is of some interest, do let me know, and I can have a chat with Josh and get back and maybe introduce you to Josh, and we can take it from there. So in general, every SIG will have a folder in Kubernetes/community repository, and you can just open any of them, read the README to learn about the SIG itself, and annual reports to learn about what the SIG actually did. So if you don't understand by the README what the SIG is about, do read the annual reports about the work they did. That will actually help you understand what really is uh, a particular SIG doing, or what kind of work comes under there. Like here, SIG docs, it also have a section for the areas they need help with. So really do that. Um, okay, I think that's about contributor comms opportunities. Sandeep, you have written down updates I can read out, or do you want to come on mic and read out, or just give a summary because we are already at top of our.
I think you can just give a summary.
Okay. So huge shout out. Number one, the huge shout out to this blog by Sandeep. Uh, it's about the CNCF Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group, and I think we were celebrating the deaf and hard of hearing groups last month, or it is this month. So this blog talks more about the efforts and
I'll I'll make it as a link, Priyanka. Okay.
okay. Yeah, so do read this out. It will tell you about all the great work Sandeep and other people in the CNCF Deaf and Hard of Hearing group are doing, and we really plan to not plan. We it's going to be an ongoing and evergreen task for every one of us to learn from what's CNCF Deaf and Hard of Hearing group is doing and bring back those learning to SIG ContribEx as well. And Sandeep is doing a great job with teaching us a lot of that, but if you are interested, please, I mean, even if you are not aware of anything related to that, do give it a read, and it will be worth the time. There are two links, I believe both of them are same, but on actually both of them are same links, uh, maybe a little bit different. And then there is another one, so
Yeah.
another shout out. uh, Go ahead, Sandeep. Okay, I think you confirmed yes. Okay. um So another one, actually two links by Arvind. So there are two SIG scheduling spotlight blogs. This will also help us, help anyone who is interested in helping with SIG spotlight blogs. What is the format of SIG spotlight blogs, or the kind of information these blogs cover? It's an amazing way if you get involved in this particular task, because you get to talk or learn from the maintainers or the active contributors on from these SIGs, and at first hand what they are doing, and you can ask questions. This will also help you to right away connect with them, and maybe if they have opportunities, you can plug yourself in. So do check out. And thank you, Sandeep, Arvind, both of you, for helping with the spotlight blog. I always say to everyone, and I don't really mind repeating it again, documentation is the hardest task. So thank you for doing that. um, I will just read out one last thing we have under contributor documentation, and I think this is the one, Sayak, you have listed down. So I will just read it out. uh,
I just hope that it's in the correct place.
I believe yes. I mean, I would not have been able to pinpoint it, but yeah, this is contributor site. Your PR is in contributor site. This is like the correct place, and it's a huge PR. So I don't know how to thank you. In just 2 weeks time, you are. Uh, well, this is an amazing example of how Kubernetes project work. The PR reviews are slow. Uh, Really full of learning. And this is a good first PR, I believe. After this, no other PR will be overwhelming for you because you are getting reviews from some of the people who are like really veteran in the project, and Tim is one of them. So I mean, amazing job and doing that. Anyone who wants to if you need help, Sayak, if this is a big task, and if you think there could be some small tasks that can come out of this, uh, maybe create an issue, and we can share with other people in the call as well if they want to jump in and help you, uh, or if there are going to be any follow-up tasks as well, not for this call, but do keep us informed and updated if more tasks come out of this particular um, PR. And thank you once again. I mean, this is amazing stuff.
Yeah, sure, we'll do.
Okay, thank you. So I will close with one quick update for election sub project. Kubernetes election cycle for 2024. It's the ballot is finished. The ballot concluded 26th or 27th, depending on time zone, 27th of September, and anywhere on Earth, AOE time zone, which is UTC -12. Uh, we have shared I'm giving this update as one of the election officers. We have shared the result with the steering committee privately. We have also shared the result with the candidates, everyone who ran into the election, uh, and the public announcement of the new steering committee, the new people who are getting elected, uh, will be announced tonight evening for us or night for you, Wendy, um, today. So we will be hearing about the new elected people in the steering committee tonight. It will be followed by the call will be followed by a blog and a email to dev@kubernetes.io. So it will be announced to everyone and to the community uh, who will be the new steering committee. So that's there. And GitHub management, I think the only update we have is the last time we were having a lot of surge of spams across the entire Kubernetes organization. That's stable now. We are still getting few spam reports here and there, but that's not related to the surge of spam we received about a few weeks back. I think 3 or 4 weeks back. Uh, Enterprise move. We also figured out there are more uh, areas affected by the move from the regular Kubernetes GitHub orgs to the and to their migration to the single one common Kubernetes enterprise account. There are repositories that were affected by the new policies that we have now at the enterprise level, and they are now like the policies which are by default set at the Kubernetes enterprise account, and uh, so they are also implemented on all the Kubernetes org that are now part of the enterprise account, and which broke a few pipelines. So we are working with people who are affected. There are issues on Kubernetes slash uh, org repo for anyone interested, but no action item there. GitHub admins are taking care of that. So that's all, I believe. Moderation media, I don't have any update from there, but I don't know if there is much activity happening as of now. We can uh, hopefully get some update. I think the last update from previous call was request for NCO playlist have been filled. I believe NCO is new contributor orientation. The calls that happened, the recordings for them, I think did not end up on the Kubernetes YouTube channel. So Caslin filed that request with YouTube moderators. That's all for today's call from my side. Uh, I will stop talking. I'm okay if anyone have any other question and just want to stay on the call and talk. Um, or if you want to talk outside the recording, I'm happy to stop the recording at this point and we can take it from there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll conclude the recording. Let me go and stop the recording. And thank you everyone who will be listening to us later on.